Hello, 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 hello. Gosh, I've been out in the wind and my hair is all over the place. So let me just make sure that I'm live. When you're here, obviously make sure you pop up and say hello. I'm on the laptop today, so a little bit of a delay, which is always a little bit frustrating for everybody. But let me know when you get here. I'm going to make sure that I'm live. Why is it that when you go live on a laptop, and surely the first thing that should happen is that your phone pops up with a little thing that says you're live, but it doesn't. Maybe I just don't follow myself. Okay, so when you get here, say hey Tracy. Okay, it's all working. Perfect. So we've got Bernadine, yeah, Claire. It's exciting, isn't it? Got this really annoying bit of hair. It's right there. So I'll start off to tell you a little bit about the event at the weekend, which was amazing. I'm going to do a full-on training on some of the cool stuff that I learned about that tomorrow. So I'll give you an overview of how it went. Basically, the Hokey Cokey was awesome. Helen Packham was amazing. We had a really good day. And then I want to talk about some of the big announcements that are coming for the festive season. I'm so excited. I don't know if anybody else is excited about Christmas, but I'm very excited. I'm feeling very festive. Now that the event is done, I'm like, woo, woo, Christmas party mode. So, event was amazing. If you missed it, I'm really, really sorry. It was a really, really good event. Lots of great speakers. I think there was about 9 speakers in all. So one of them was me, obviously. One of them was Helen Packham. Dan did a little talk on personal branding, which was really, really good. We had Vin Clancy came over from LA, which was exciting. There were 2 guys, Neil and Joe, who talked about all things funnels, which was really, really cool. And we had some stuff on storytelling, and it was a really, really good event. So we went. Saturday was incredibly busy. I was up at 5 a.m. That never happens. So I was very, very sad about being up at that time in the morning. But getting to the event, spending the day there was amazing. We finished up around 4 o'clock, went for a little speakers debrief at Dan's place, which was cool. Got to hang out there, have a couple of glasses of wine, etc. And then we went up the I-360. So for anyone who doesn't know the I-360, it is a 162 meter high tower in Brighton on the seafront, and it's surrounded by what I can only describe as a glass donut. All right, so there's this glass donut, and it's basically an outside lift, and you go up. That doesn't make it sound very glamorous, but it really was. And you go up, and there's a bar inside, and you go up 162 meters, and you look out over Brighton and the sea, and it's very, very cool. Unfortunately, I am little bit terrified of heights. So I got up there and I was like, wow, this is really high. I'm gonna stay close to the wall and just look at the edge from about 2 meters over here. But it was lovely, really, really cool event, met some amazing people. Had some amazing conversations, and ended my night screaming across the road at Helen Packham, who was doing a fantastic Pied Piper impression. She was taking all these people to a club and like herding them like cats. And I was on the other side of the road because Sam and Jen were still in. Sam, my boyfriend, Sam, not Sam Barefoot, but they were still in the bar bit. They hadn't come out yet, and I couldn't quite catch Helen's attention because I'm quite short. So I ended my night standing on a massive white block in Brighton screaming, Helen! Helen! She didn't see me. It was awkward. Lots of other people in Brighton did, but Helen didn't. So after that, I was kind of a bit like, now is my time to go home. And that's what I did. And I had a very, very long nap yesterday, slept like an old person. My voice is just about coming back today. But the event was phenomenal. And I love how everyone's laughing. I'm like, it was really a mortifying experience. Sam was just kind of laughing at me whilst I was kind of like, oh God, I don't want to walk around. And at one point I definitely said, if all of us stood on one side of this though, would the tower fall over? No is the answer. No is the answer. And I did also ask about security and safety. I was like, so health and safety on this building. Basically, I was the worst person they've ever had in there. But it was great. Really, really great. So came back from the event yesterday. feeling really, really tired and really, really invigorated about things that and changes that I've been wanting to make in my business. I came in here last week and I don't remember, or I don't know if you guys remember, the post that I wrote about shame. Okay, so if you remember that post, throw up some emojis, the shame post about the things that we do because we feel that otherwise, you know, we'll feel guilty, we'll feel ashamed, we compare ourselves, etc., etc., etc. And at the end of that post, I mentioned that there were some changes that I was thinking about making and that I didn't really know how they were going to pan out, right? I didn't really know what ones I was going to make and what ones I wouldn't. And I've been really guilty in the past of making changes and just kind of making them off the cuff and thinking about them. You know, don't get me wrong, I've made changes with a lot of thought involved, but I've made changes like consistently, and I've been like, oh, I've made one change and then another change and then another change, another one in very quick succession. And that's not something I wanted to do this year, or at the end of this year, because we're coming up to Christmas, because actually it's quite hard work to get my brain to function all of the time and think about different things. So I wanted to take it a bit slower this year, and a bit slower about the kinds of changes that I really wanted to make and the direction I really, really wanted to take my business in for 2018. So there were a couple of big decisions that I needed to make. Hey, Kaylin. I love it, Ariana. I'm so excited for Christmas. But yeah, so there were a couple of big changes that I wanted to make, and I wanted to share them in here because, as we know, I like transparency. I like to be open and honest, and also I want to make changes that benefit the whole community, you know, and ultimately everyone, you know, not just my business. So there are a couple of things that I needed to think about. One was my team. Okay, so the first change that I've made recently has been my team. Obviously, Jodie and Rachel have been helping me out for about 6 to 7 months now, and they've been brilliant. You know, they've put in place different processes, they've helped me standardize things, they've walked through different operating procedures as the business grows, and so they've really helped put all of that into place, and they've made it a lot more structured and streamlined, and we've put in different things that you know, different automations and stuff that just make my life a lot easier on the back end. However, you know, one of the best things about being an entrepreneur is, and one of the best things about your business as it expands and grows, is that you actually need people who are dedicated to your business, right? And you need people who perhaps have only a couple of clients, only a couple of projects, rather than lots and lots and lots. Is it choppy? Is it choppy for anyone? Oh God, guys, I'm really sorry if it's choppy. My signal seems to be okay. It could just be Facebook being Facebook, or it could be that I'm a desktop. If it is choppy, I apologize, and hopefully it'll be okay for the next couple of minutes. So anyway, Jodie and Rachel have been fantastic, but it has got to that point in time where I need to, or have needed to, hire people who are specifically invested in my business, and you know, who can spend a few more hours on my business than they were able to do at that point in time. So unfortunately, it's been a really sad goodbye, but an epic handover. So we now have somebody else who's come in to help me take the business to a new level from an organizational perspective, and that person, I'm really, really excited to say, is Beth Lynch. So Beth has been a client of mine, has been a part of my community for the last 2.5 years. She knows my business really well, she knows the brand really well, and she is taking over all of the organization and tasks and all of the kind of things like payment management and task management and organizing my schedule and getting me shipshape every day, which is a really challenging task. So I'm like, yay for Beth, because it is a little bit daunting. There is a lot to do, but she's come on board and has kindly agreed to be part of the team. Team Jess, yay, to come and do that for me, which I'm really, really excited about. So if you have any problems, if you want to get in touch with us, if you have any tech issues, if you've bought any programs from us and forget your passwords, if you're a dotty and you kind of, need something from the portal, etc., etc., etc. If you email me, you're going to get an epic response from Beth, who will help you sort out any tech issues, payment issues, finding things, finding resources, content, all that kind of stuff. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I wanted to let everybody know that Beth had come and joined the team, because that's something that has been long time coming, and it's really nice to have somebody to organize the back of my life. So if you do see her around, or you do email in and you get a reply from Beth, please obviously congratulate her, because she is going to be a huge part of the team, and I'm very, very excited about it. I'm really sorry if it's choppy, guys. I've only got a couple of more things to say anyway, so hopefully it's going to be all right. And it might just be the laptop. I'm sorry. So Beth's joining the team. Please obviously welcome her, and if you do get an email from her, say hi, say congratulations. She's very, very lovely, and she's very, very organized, so that would be great, because that's really what I need. Second thing is that, as you might have heard, a couple of weeks ago I did get drunk and announce it with the lovely Amanda Ruiz, who is just very good at getting secrets out of me. I am launching a planner next year. So the planner is coming out next year, and I'm working with the amazing Liz Wilkins to get that all finalized, to get that done. It's going to be a mid-year planner. It's going to be purely for sales, to keep everybody going, and making sure that you're making sales right through from March to December, and taking note of all the key points in the year, which is really, really exciting. So again, if you see Liz at the beginning of the new year and she is kind of like, it's because I've done today's planner ideas on her, so apologies again, Liz, in advance. But she is the only person that I would have let loose on creating the amazing Smart Leader Sell Planner. So I'm very, very excited about that. That is coming in March 2018. So final piece of news is, and this is the big one, I guess. This is the bit I would have said I was nervous about. But I guess I'm not really. So I want to take you back 4 years ago. 4 years ago, I worked in the corporate world. I worked in an entirely male-dominated team, and I was the only woman. So I was the only woman that worked on my floor for about, 8 or 9 months, that was actually in sales, that wasn't somebody who was executively assisting the team, or who wasn't kind of keeping us all on track in terms of managing the finance bits and bobs. And they all sat in a different office. So it was just me for about 8 or 9 months. And Team Jessima, love it. But yeah, so it was just me for about 8 or 9 months. And as you can imagine, over sort of 5 years in corporate, being the only woman in a male-dominated world was actually quite difficult. It was really challenging. It was something that, made me question sometimes my ability, made me wonder whether my sales skills were as good as Bob's down the road. And so when I came out of the corporate world, I decided that I wanted to work with women. I was like, right, women do have the best track records for sales. Women are better salespeople, and that's something I will always stand by, is that women are better salespeople generally than men. The reason being is that women build relationships, we have empathy, we have compassion, we have lots of things and skills that actually men do not always put into their sales skills first, right? They don't think about those things. However, 3.5 years down the line, I've had male clients. Every so often, I get a guy who is big and brave and is like, I know that your branding is pink and stuff, but also I really want to work with you. And so over the last 3 years, I've had quite a few male clients who perhaps haven't been in the group, who you might not have interacted with, but who have come on board and who've been part of the kind of Smart Leader Sell movement. So the big thing for me is that in moving my business forward, one of the things I really realized after going to this event, after going to Upreneur, after going to lots and lots of different places, was that actually I was getting an awful lot of men who were saying, we really want to work with you. But I don't target men. Okay, I don't target men. They're not in my demographic. They're not in my messaging. I was just weirdly getting all these men coming up to me. And this weekend at Dan's event, I had a ton of men who were like, oh my God, I really want to work with you. How can I do that? And who'd been going onto my website and being like, oh, can I come to the Ritz? And I was like, whoa, no, you're a man. So with that in mind, and with the fact that I feel like I want to kind of dabble my toe back into the realm of having and working with that masculine energy, I have decided to open this group to men as well as women. Okay, so this free community will have men and women in the group, and it will be great men. Obviously, they'll still have to go through the same application process. They will still have to go through the same rules as everybody else. They'll still have to be prepared to show up honestly, authentically, integrity, etc. But I think it will be a really good dynamic to bring into here. It's something I'm really excited about. I think that for 3.5 years, I've been very, very focused on the female entrepreneurial market. And one of the things that I have often envied about men is that they don't necessarily get so bogged down in the mind stuff. Okay, they are very much, here's the goal, I'm going to hit the goal. They need the strategy, they need the accountability, they need the support, and they need to learn the skills that women have around empathy, compassion, and all of those kinds of things. And I think as women, what we can learn from men is that it can be possible to have those clear boundaries around business. And that is something that men do really well. They do have very clear boundaries around business. They do have very clear boundaries around goal setting and achieving. And I think that's something I really want to bring to this community. Now, I'm aware that for 3.5 years and for the kind of 2.5 years I've had the group, that it's been female only, and that can be considered a really safe space. And, it's been an amazing experience for me. But, and I was having this conversation with Heather about safe spaces. Entrepreneurship isn't safe. Putting yourself out there isn't safe. Being visible isn't safe. Everything that we do every single day is about pushing ourselves out of our comfort zones. And for me, this is about pushing me out of my comfort zone. It's about bringing a new dynamic to this group. It's about regenerating this space with different people who can bring different ideas and perspectives. And I'm really looking forward to that. And so that's what's going to be happening. Okay. Now, there are a few things that won't change. The Dotties is still going to be female only. Okay, that is going to be a women only space. That will not change. The free community will be for men and women. The ideas will be that it's going to be for men who embody the same values that we uphold here in the group. And I will obviously work with male clients, and I'll probably be a bit more open about that from time to time. But I'm really, really excited about it and really looking forward to doing it. So those are the big changes. The big changes are happening. So bear with